Hi guys, it's Any, aka the Not Trader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 biotech stocks to buy in the month of May. Let's get straight into it. It's been an interesting month for biotech stocks. It seems like every company in the sector has thrown their hat in the race to develop the COVID-19 vaccine. If you had taken a long position in Moderna at the beginning of May, you would have seen around 80% gains, as the media PR machine pushed the narrative that they were making progress with an effective vaccine. On Monday, the 18th of May, Moderna released data from its phase 1 human trial of its potential vaccine, showing that all 45 patients enrolled produced binding antibodies, seen at similar levels of people who had recovered from the virus. As expected, this news led to a 30% spike in the share price, but as the week went on, the euphoria from the data dissipated. In the investors WhatsApp group I'm in, and there's a Telegram group, Stock Pickers Academy, someone pointed out about Moderna, and I didn't get into it, but this is what I call a purely fundamental play. As you can see, it's been trending up for quite some time, and this pop was due to, as we spoke about just earlier, the news about the data from the trials. Now, if you had got in before this, you would have made 30% just off of that one day alone. But obviously, I wouldn't have known that. And by the time this news came out, the price had popped out. But as we all know about that saying, buy the news and sell the rumor. So when price spikes up because of some news, as I've said before, I've said this several times before, if nothing has actually changed and people might have overreacted, then it will potentially sell back off close to where it was before. So this news was all about the trials that had been done on a vaccine, and there was good positive data coming out. But after a couple of days and the media outlets had their news story and done their due diligence on it, they found that these trials, while they may have been good, they weren't as significant as we had been stated earlier. So share prices kind of tumbled down again. But I still believe Moderna is going to carry on climbing, maybe in the medium to long term, as the next phase of trials are in July, I believe. But I do believe it will continue trending up unless there's any specific news that comes out that's contrary to what we believe about what's going on with the trials that they're doing. Now moving on to Althesys, another biotech company that have their webinar today actually, at 11 AM Eastern Time, 5 PM GMT. This call is to highlight potential treatments for acute respiratory distress syndrome in COVID-19 patients. This looks like it has the potential for a similar bullish pop. If there's positive news that comes out of this call, just like Moderna, I can see their share prices rising. I really like the look of Alteryx. As you can see, it looks like a converging wedge that looks quite bullish. The MACD and RSI both look like they're bullish. If you look at the MACD closely, it's in a negative territory, but it's curving up. So it looks like it's about to go into the green histogram. It's been trending up, making higher lows, and it's been testing this resistance line. So I believe that potentially today, once that news comes out, it can make a bullish pop up, and it can pop up to about even 360. So if it goes up to 360, we're talking about even potentially like a 40 pips move. So that could be a really bullish move for us to take advantage of. I'm going to wait for it to break out of this resistance line, and I'm going to set an alert on this resistance line here, so that once it breaks out of it, then I'll be alerted and I can take a long position. Even though the technicals are really good, once again the fundamentals kind of align with it, and that's what I love to see. A stock where the technicals are telling me something and then the fundamentals are telling me the same thing, and we can marry this information up together, and then hopefully we can get a good trade. I'm going to wait. I'm going to go on that call, that webinar call today, and see if there's any interesting news that will help the share price go up. But this is one that I'm watching, and this is a stock that I think could potentially make a similar move to Moderna. And because the news is similar in that it's a biotech pharma stock that is going to release some data not data, but news around COVID vaccine trials. So, and I'm seeing a similar play for this one as I see for what happened with Moderna. As you can see, once you see something happen before and you see it play itself out in another stock, then potentially the move could be the same. And last but definitely not least, we've got LABU. Now LABU is Direxium Daily S&P Biotech Bull 3X. And funnily enough, one of the most heavily weighted ETFs within LABU is, drumroll please, Moderna. So I've got exposure to Moderna by being in this ETF. The reason why I've taken a long on LABU is that it's been trending up for quite some time, and I saw an opportunity to take a long because of purely technicals really. As you can see here, this resistance line has been hit once, twice, and it looks like it's going to hit a third time here. So I can see price climbing up to there. Now on the 1 hour chart, I also saw that this looks similar to a cup and handle. So then what I did was I drew a Fibonacci from the base to the edge of the cup, and lo and behold, where it retraced down to, which was the base of the handle, was a 50% Fibonacci level. So that would have been a great place to enter a long, but I wanted confirmation that it was actually a cup and handle. So I saw it come up, and once it started coming up, I saw this as a good entry point. Now if I'm right, it will continue climbing up to that resistance line here, which will give me about profits of up to about 700 pips, 800 pips if I'm right. And I'll set my stop loss just below the 50% Fibonacci level. So we'll see how that plays out in the next coming days. AstraZeneca also jumping in on the action now. Coronavirus, AstraZeneca to supply potential COVID vaccine in September. So they've already started their clinical trials. They started on the 14th of April. And they're working with the University of Oxford to work on a vaccine. This article says there's more than 70 coronavirus vaccines currently in the works, and a finished product should take more than a year to emerge. The usual lead time for the development of a vaccine is 5 to 7 years. Well, we ain't got 5 to 7 years. So the cynic in me thinks that a lot of these biotech and pharma companies are trying to produce coronavirus vaccines, but they're releasing all these press releases because it'll help boost their share prices. In my mind, I consider the 2020 coronavirus press release the equivalent to the 2017 blockchain press release. A lot of hot air, but it works and it sends the share prices going up. So be careful, guys. Any, aka the Not Trader, signing out.